Knockout blow to the housing market. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. We're just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And folks, we're about to see the knockout blow be delivered to the U.S. housing market. Are you watching this stuff? It's insane. You're about to witness the biggest rug pull that's ever been orchestrated in U.S. history. And that's the challenging one here, folks. This was orchestrated. This wasn't organic, natural growth. This was an orchestrated event through well, you know how we got here. Let's say we're going to get out of the problem and in the solution. This is a forward-thinking, critical thinking channel, getting ahead of the curve. We've been successful in doing that. If you're new, please subscribe right away. This is getting very serious. I just wish there was a way I could sugarcoat this one. I'll always do my best to always wrap these up with things that we can be doing to make sure that we can not only get through this, but hopefully come through it smelling like a rose. So please stay to the end. So reality is, folks, I asked on the community page, and if you haven't visited the community page of the channel yet, you might want to do that. There's some polls and things that we do in there, and it's quite fun. But what I wanted to talk about today, friends, this is insane to me, was this all planned or was this on accident? The fact that we got here in the way we got here. I mean, I knew initially when this whole thing transpired, when we started the stimulus programs, and a lot of it was for me firsthand as a real estate guy, when they made me an essential worker and told me to go out and sell houses and drop interest rates to stimulate the economy. I was like, wait a minute, like, I don't know if I'm an essential worker. Like, I didn't think that real estate agents should be essential workers. And while I'm a real estate agent, I'm also a real estate investor. I'm a small business owner. I'm a normal guy, just like the rest of you, living in a euphoric Southern California market that got way too euphoric. And this went across the country. So initially, if you've watched the program, and I've talked to many of you, it says, hey, I've been watching you from the beginning, and I can't believe how big your channel has gotten. And I can't either, to be quite honest with you. I can't believe how big we got. But the reality is, when I first came to YouTube, I always would say, this doesn't pass the smell test. The dust will settle and we will pay the piper. Didn't the government know this? Didn't the government know when they sent out all this money, it was going to find its way into the markets? They had to. I mean, if I can figure this out, you would think the most brilliant political minds at our federal government, the Federal Reserve banking system, would know that they told us that this money was to help us stay at home and be able to put food on the table, I guess. Like, I don't even know. I mean, you could have kept your money. Like, I was good, but I could see if this was targeted, whatever the case is, it doesn't really matter. The realities are, this had to be, like, I don't know if it's orchestrated or on purpose, but this money found its way into the markets. Not good, friends. And I'm going to tell you what I think the knockout blow is going to be to this one. And it's sad. Man, I don't want to be right on this one. I really want to be wrong. Like I've always said, I'm quick to make up my mind, slow to change it. I will change it if I see something that is clear-cut evidence that I got to change my mind. I'm not seeing it yet. The housing market will be the last one to go. But the reality is everything now is playing out right in front of us. So I want you to decide for yourself today. And like I said, I don't want us to get hung up on this point, because we really do have to get out of the problem and in the solution. But was this on accident or on purpose that we found ourselves now entering into a deep cycle recession that's going to cause significant pain? Did the government know that this money was going to find its way into the markets, and it would, in fact, at the end result, be a recession? My guess is they did. My guess is that if I can figure it out, they had to figure it out. When we locked everybody down and we decided, okay, we're going to stimulate the economy, we're going to send out this money, but there's a good chance that the blowback, it's going to be a temporary solution to get through the health pandemic. And then we're going to have a recession. We're going to have inflation. We're going to have overheated markets. But that's the price we're willing to pay. Like if they came out and admitted that to me, I'd have way more respect for Jerome Powell if he'd come out and just say, listen, we knew this was going to happen, but we had to do it because a health pandemic required it in order to keep you at home. We knew a recession would be delivered. We knew these markets would get euphoric. I would have way more respect for somebody that just came out and told me that. But they never, ever, ever will. They will never accept responsibility for this. They continue to kick the can down the road or pass the buck onto something else. It'll always be blamed on the pandemic. So with that being said, let's now talk about the knockout blow. What is in fact going to be the knockout blow to the U.S. housing market, friends? And I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this one. I believe it's going to be the stock market. I believe we're going to see the biggest sell-off we've ever seen in a century in the stock market. I think it will be the knockout blow. The reason I say this, friends, is because we haven't had a knockout blow in the stock market. I mean, a real knockout blow in 100 years. And the 100-year cycle is alive and well. But more than that, why I believe the knockout blow is coming and it's going to be delivered from the stock market. And there, like we've talked about, there is a perfect storm swirling right now that could be the knockout blow. They all added together could potentially deliver it. But I think one of the biggest ones we're going to see will be, in fact, the stock market, because we're seeing what happened is all these companies became overvalued through a stimulated economy, and they drank the Kool-Aid themselves. And so what we're seeing now is because all that stimulus money that was sent out found its primarily a massive, massive portion. I'm not sure the percentage, but if I had to guess, I would say well more than half the money sent out to doorsteps in America found its way into the stock market. So what that did is based false valuations on companies, and people were stock picking like it was a casino. They weren't. I can even just test this for myself. I remember looking at some stocks initially because it was the flavor of the day. Everybody's doing it, herd mentality, like we've talked about. And most people are just, I don't know, this one looks good. I like this one. That people didn't look at earning reports. People didn't look at their past performance. People didn't look at the company, like who are they? Have they been around for a while? Are they poised to be able to do this? They didn't know. So the reality is right now what we're seeing is this massive reverse course. It makes sense when you eliminate stimulus, when you eliminate the money printer, when you start to reduce money in circulation with the rug pull. The stock market was the recipient of the majority of the stimulus. So it's going to show its true value here any second. And the reality is it's going to have a trickle-down effect. Real estate will follow the stock market. Make no mistake about it. Real estate will follow. And it could be even bigger because the reason is that most people that are into real estate, especially that bought through the height of this buying euphoria, are very vulnerable right now. They've got their necks really, really far out. That's a massive amount of debt. And like I've reported on before, anytime you see your house go upside down in value, which is coming, and you just felt rich because you had some appreciation or you thought you won the home by overpaying for it, that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And it's just psychologically, like I always say, it comes down to the psychology of people, the psychology of sales. It comes down to your basic mental strength. And when you start seeing your house not worth what it's paid, and you see the trending headlines talk about a failing housing market, I mean, this thing's headed in the wrong direction. In final thoughts today, friends, I come to you as a friend, as a real estate professional. Somebody wants to see you win in life and in real estate. I'm letting you know right now, this, whether it was planned or orchestrated, I think the government probably knew what was coming and that we'd be dealing with this. I think this was all in order to get us through a health situation, but I think they knew this blowback was coming. Moving forward, we got to retain as much cash as possible, start getting lean and mean and being able to weather a storm and insulate ourselves. Many people, it'll be too late. It's not their fault. They've never seen this before. They didn't understand what was coming, and that was true for most of us. I think some of us have woken up a little earlier than others. It doesn't matter. It's better to be late to the party than not come at all in terms of waking up. I believe the knockout blow is going to be, in fact, the stock market is going to show its true colors, and it's going to have spillover into the real estate market. And we're going to see these big investors do mass sell-offs of real estate, driving neighborhood prices down and the contagion sweeping it around America. That is my best educated, level-headed realist guess on what we can expect. We'll have to stay tuned to the channel, continue to heat map and temperature check everything we can. But like I said before, the first step of getting past a problem is admit there's a problem. That was a massive problem. Now it's time to buckle up, strap in, band together, iron sharpens iron, and do our best to weather a storm. If you appreciate the content, I'm going to humbly ask you to give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of the video if you'd like to contact me there, along with other channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, there's an email for you, along with other specials and ads and opportunities in the description. So please take advantage of those. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.